Alright, here begins your review for your test on absolute value. First one is just solving for x. Always need to get your absolute value by itself first. So first I need to add 4 to both sides. Give me absolute value of x minus 3 is equal to now 11. Now, when I have absolute value by itself, the way I get rid of it is by making the other side either positive 11 or negative 11. You need to add that plus or minus. So now to solve, I just need to add 3 to both sides. So I get x equals 3 plus or minus 11. So that means my answer would be if I add 11, it's 14. If I subtract 11, I get negative 8. Those are my answers. Same thing over here. First, I need to multiply both sides by 2, and I'll get absolute value of 2x plus 6 equals 10. Then I would get rid of the absolute value sign, and to do that, I need plus or minus 10. What I'll do now is subtract 6, so 2x equals negative 6 plus or minus 10. And then I will need to divide both sides by 2. So negative 6 plus or minus 10 all divided by 2. So that means if I do the addition, negative 6 plus 10 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. If I subtract, I get negative 16, which divided by 2 is negative 8 as my answer. Number 3, I'm going to have, first if I subtract the 6 over, I will end up with negative 5 on the right-hand side now. I have a negative out front, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1, which gives me x plus 8 in absolute value, which is equal to now positive 5. Get rid of the absolute value by making it plus or minus 5. Then subtract 8 from both sides. So negative 8 plus or minus 5. So that means my answer here, if I do the addition, it'll be negative 3. If I do subtraction, it'll be negative 13. And the last one, I'm going to need to first subtract 6 from both sides. That'll give me absolute value of 2x minus 1 equals negative 3. Well, an absolute value is always positive, and this says here that an absolute value equals a negative. That cannot happen. This is our no solution, this is our dips problem, all that sort of idea. So this is a no solution, does not exist type answer. All right, in 5 through 8, we need to find the zeros, the roots of the polynomial. All we need to do is set each one of these equal to 0, and then go and just solve for x like we did in those first 4 problems. So, for these ones, I'm going to start by adding 9 to both sides. For this one, then I'll divide by 3, so x plus 6 now will equal 3. Get rid of the absolute value by doing plus or minus 3. So x will equal negative 6 plus or minus 3. So my answers here, if I add, it'll be negative 3. If I subtract, it'll be negative 9. For number 6, it's already equal to 0. I already have my absolute value by itself, so I can just get rid of it by saying 2x minus 4 is equal to plus or minus 0. Well, positive 0, negative 0, it's the same thing. It's just 0. So I add 4 to both sides, gives me 2x equals 4 plus 0, which is just 4. Divide both sides by 2. My only answer here is x equals 2. For number 7, subtract 2 from both sides to start. So I'll be now having equal negative 2 on the right. To get rid of the negative 1/3, I need to multiply by a negative 3 on both sides. So that means I'll have positive 6 now on the right. Get rid of my absolute value. And then I'll have to add 1 to that. So 1 plus 6 or 1 minus 6. So my answers will be 7 if I add, negative 5 if I subtract. Alright, and the most complicated one is this last one here. Start by adding 10 to both sides. Everything else stays the same to start. Now, I have a 2 out front. I need to divide by 2 to get the absolute value by itself. So 1/2 x plus 6 in the absolute value. 10 divided by 2 is 5. I can now get rid of my absolute value to make it plus or minus 5. I'll keep what's under the radical, or not under the radical, inside the absolute value the exact same. And now I just need to solve from here. So I'll subtract 6. So negative 6 plus or minus 5. And then to get rid of the 1/2, I'll need to multiply both sides by 2. So negative 6 plus or minus 5 is multiplied by 2. So that means my final answer is, if I add, I have negative 1. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. If I subtract, I have negative 11. And negative 11 times 2 is negative 22. So those are my 2 answers for those. Alright, the next section is the graphing portion of the test. And these should be, hopefully, pretty straightforward to do. What we're going to start with is, first let's find where the origin has moved to. Remember, we shift up 3 with the 3 on the end, and the negative 4 on the inside means to the right 4. So up 3 to the right 4 should be right here. My point here is 4, 3. And then when I do absolute value, that means I'm going over 1, up 1, from the beginning over 2, up 2, from the beginning over 3, up 3. It's just a straight line over 1, up 1, over another 1, up another 1, over one more, and I should get my V as a result. Number 10, I'm starting left 1 and up 6. This tells me left 1. 6 on the end tells me up 6. That point is negative 1, 6. Now, I have a negative out front. That means that instead of going over 1 up, like up 1 like I normally do, I need to go down 1 when I go both directions. So I'll go down. I should have a downward looking V for number 2. For number 3, starting at up 5 and I'm to the left 6. So this point here should be negative 6, 5. And now the 2 out in front means when I normally went over 1, up 1, I'm now going twice as much. Over 1, up 2. When I go from the beginning again, instead of over 2, up 2, I'm now going up twice that much, up 4. Same in the other direction. Over 1, up 2, over another, or over 2 from the beginning, up 4. So this should be a bit of a skinnier V than the last ones. Number 12, I'm not going left or right, I'm only going up 4. So this ordered pair is 0, 4. And now I'm going to go, instead of over 1, up 1, the 1/2 in front tells me when I go over 1, I only go up a half. When I go over 2, instead of 2, I'm only going up 1. 3 is only 3.5. 4 is up only 2. And same in the other direction. Up a half, up 1, up 1.5, up 2. So I should have a very fat V for that one. All right, number 13. I'm not going up or down any, just left or right. I should be shifting to the right 3 units. So there's my 3, 0 starting point. And now this negative 3, first of all, it's going to be going a downwards V. And when I go over 1, normally it was up 1. The negative tells me I'm going down, and the 3 tells me I'm going 3 times as far down. So I should be down at 3 here. Over 2, down now 6. If I went over 3, it'd be down 9, all the way down here somewhere. So this will put me down going this way, and if I go the other direction, same idea. So over 1, down 3, over another 1, down 6, and then if I had one more, it'd be right here at 9. So there's my drawing of that V. All right, and the last one, a pretty straightforward one. It's going to go right 2 and up 7, so it'll be up at the top, and there's nothing out in front. So when I go over 1, I'm up 1 in both directions. When I go over 2, I'm up 2 in both directions. So there's my V with the origin now at the point 2, 7. All right, and the last one is pretty straightforward as well. All these are is trying to create your own function based on what the graph looks like. So for this first one, my origin is now at 3, 3. How much am I going up or down each time? It's just 1. So it's a normal. There's nothing out in front. X minus 3 because it's shifting to the right 3 units, and then plus 3 on the outside for shifting up 3 units. For this one right here, I'm still going only 1 and 1, but I'm going downward. So I have a negative out in front. I'm shifting to the left 3 units, so I should have X plus 3 on the inside, and I'm up 2, so positive 2 on the outside. For number 17 here, what I have going on for shifting left and right is nothing, so it's just the absolute value of X. I'm shifting up 4 units, so plus 4. And then going up here, I went up, when I went over 1, I went up 1, 2, 3. So I should have a number 3 out in front. For this one, a bit trickier to tell, but I'm going to say here for f of x, I'm shifting to the right 2 units, so I should have x minus 2. Shifted down 6 units means minus 6 on the outside. And instead of going up over 1, up 1, I'm only going up a half of that. So I should have 1/2 as my number out in front. For number 9, I haven't gone up or down, just left or right. So that means on the inside, x minus 5, because I shifted right 5 units. You could say plus 0 on the end, because that's how much you went up and down. And then as for the stretch, I went over 1, up 5, or up 6, I mean. And then when I went over 2, I'm up above that. I'm up at 12. So there should be a 6 out in front for that one. And then the last one over here, I have f of x. I'm going to have a negative out in front for sure. Also look, when I went over 1, I went down 2, not just 1. So it should be negative 2 out in front. I shifted left 2 units, so that's x plus 2, I shifted up 4 units, so that should be a plus 4 on the end of that. Well, there's absolute values. Hopefully you're ready to roll, and you'll be in good shape for your last test this quarter.